Do you not have the choice to pick who you want to date?
I do.
Right. So who you blaming for who you're picking?
How do you know it's one small section of men?
We was talking about this earlier. They show up with their representation, so they switch up on you.
Okay, so how much times that happened to you before you could spot it?
That is true. It can only happen but so many times
before you.
I think that's the excuse women like to tell themselves.
It's not an excuse
for them to be consistently choosing the same poor quality.
No
of man.
way.
Like, he changed up on me.
Oh
he had a wife.
God.
He know
That's
like you choosing the same person.
If a man is putting up a front in the beginning, how many times a nigga will come around and put up a front in the beginning before you be like, I've seen this before. Like, how many times?
They do say if you keep attracting the same person, it's inner work that you have to do with yourself. So
there we go. There we go. Can we get a round of applause for that? Like, you know what I'm saying?
There we go. I can't. It really be like, I'm sorry.
Look,
there you go.
Some people are just fraudulent.
There you go.
Well, listen, as a man, right? I pride myself on selecting quality women. Like, I'm gonna vet them properly.
Yeah.
If I choose a poor quality woman, I can't blame her. I have to blame myself. I don't have that luxury to be like, damn, you know what, Umar? There's a lot of Sukianas out here. Like, there's a lot of sexy reds out here. I had no other choice but to date a sexy. No, I have the choice. Welcome back to another episode of Dailyrapupcrew. No booker, but I go by the name of Eli. And I got an Instagram now, man. After like 10 years, you know what I'm saying? Like, make sure y'all follow me on Instagram, man. The Real Y Eli. I couldn't get Y Eli because some bot got it. So, I mean, it's all good. The Real Y Eli. Make sure y'all go follow me, man. I'm gonna try to post some content. Like, I mean, I'm gonna do my best, man. But anyway, last but not least, we got Keem with us.
New year, new you, man. I'm proud of you, man. Yes, indeed. And what it do? Shout out my brother Jew. Hope you get back soon. You heard?
Okay, I like that. I like how you did the homage, the tribute. Like, that's dope, man. Anyway, we got some special guests in the building. Let them know where they can follow you at.
I'm Henny Straight. You can follow me on Instagram at Henny Straight. So it's Henny STR8 with a T. And I have a podcast as well. Took a pause, but we'll be back soon.
Okay.
You be drinking Henny Straight?
What's the name of it?
No. It's called Give It To Me Straight.
Wait, time out. You don't be drinking.
So you don't drink Henny Straight?
It's not about liquor, but this is not what this is about.
Okay.
You got Henny in name, but it's not about liquor.
It's about my complexion, but I do drink the liquor sometimes.
Straight?
Check us
Straight?
out. Check us out. It's cool.
It's cool. It's cool. Next up.
My name is Destiny. I have a podcast as well. It's called Hey Girl Podcast. I just started literally a week ago, so definitely support and check out the page. You can follow me on Instagram at sezzy.desi_.
Sezzy, okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
Sezzy Desi.
Sezzy Desi.
Hey guys, I'm Janae, and my Instagram is justj_93.
Last but not least, yeah.
Okay. I'm Amira. My Instagram is TheRealMira__.
Okay. Listen, before we get into these topics, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if y'all not already subscribed. Hit the notification bell because I don't be on y'all enough about that. And I need y'all to stay up to date with all the content that we drop. Join the membership, man. We need y'all to join the membership. Definitely supports us. We got early access to a lot of videos. As y'all can see right now, we got like a ton of early episode videos that didn't even drop yet. We like 5 episodes. Like, listen, join the membership. Y'all gonna get the episodes early. Y'all gonna get the behind the scenes. A lot of benefits to it. Make sure y'all listen to the podcast audio every Tuesday, 6 a.m.
Still doing
it? Oh, we ain't got that.
Still doing it?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we ain't got the merch on, but actually, no, damn, I got the merch on. I thought I had the hoodie on. Like, anyway, go get the merch. Dailyrapupcrew.co. Let me get to this first topic, right? Who or what killed club or party culture?
Who said that club...
Bring the mic closer to you. Yeah, we want to hear this. Yeah.
Who said that club culture was dead?
I think
it is dead.
Yeah, there's a lot of consensus online that club culture, party culture is dead.
It ain't the same.
It ain't the same.
It's not the same.
I would say it's not the same. I wouldn't say dead because when I'm out with my friends, we having a lot of fun.
But are y'all making the fun?
If you're not doing it right, then that's your fault. And who are you around?
What's doing it right though?
Your friends not fun. When you go to the club, you go to hang out with your friends. What are you and your friends doing?
That's
It's
what you
very
go to.
I don't think it's about the group of friends you with, because if you got the right group of friends, y'all gonna have
Y'all
fun
can stay
anywhere
at
you
home,
go.
like,
But
you
the
know what I'm
club itself, you spending a bag
Mm-hmm.
just to get ready. Club there and back. I mean, cab there and back. Like you spending mad money.
I mean, we spending money regardless.
So you go to the club to hang out with your friends?
Yeah.
And that's why club culture is dead. Like,
Yeah,
you
you
know what
have
I'm
a get
saying? Like,
together.
yo.
My bad.
So it's dead because I didn't come to mingle with men that probably don't want to buy me drinks anyway.
Yes. Wait, that
no,
didn't want to
it's
buy.
not-
Wait. That didn't want to buy you drinks
Guys do not be trying to buy drinks and stuff like that, and that's why we just stay with our
because y'all
friends.
be in y'all sections buying each other drinks.
Mm-hmm. A nigga can't
They-
even
they-
give you
that what you be doing?
Then you gonna drink.
Oh, okay.
And-
All right.
wait, and
Let's-
then-
wait a minute. Hold on.
Mhm.
But let me say something.
Mhm.
Because before, when girls was just trying to go to people's sections, then they talk about you and call you broke. So girls started
What?
buying their own alcohol. Yes.
Yeah, you guys definitely
Yes.
act a certain way.
Absolutely.
Like you
Oh,
don't
when
know how
we
to
ask
act
a
when you get
guy
to a
for a drink?
section. So it's.
I
and
mean,
that's just
if-
in general when guys are being approached.
I mean, if a nigga didn't invite you, and you just running up in the section. Obviously, gonna
Yeah,
look at
that's
you
wild.
crazy. Like,
well, then
you
how
gotta be invited to the section. You can't just be
That's
pulling up.
another
Like,
thing.
what?
The entitlement is crazy. Like,
no,
you
it's
pull
not
up, like,
entitlement.
you
It's
smoking a
about-
hookah, like, yo.
Except for the hookah. Nah, it really.
It's about just another way to mingle. It's not like a woman is gonna just help herself to your drink. Like just start. She's trying to like. That's what you go to the club for. You look, get all
no,
dressed up, looking good.
You
juicy, just to
don't
be
decide who
around
comes
five
into the
guys.
section. The guy whose section it is decides who comes into the section.
So why subject
But
yourself
we here to all
not
have a
being
good-
picked to come into somebody's
Yeah,
section?
that's the thing. Yeah.
I'm not saying that you should subject yourself. I'm saying that you're not gonna know if somebody's gonna buy you a drink anyway because you in the section with your girl. Somebody might want to buy you a drink, but you surrounded by your girls, and then when they approach you, you giving them stink looks and
How do you
I'm just
know?
hanging out.
How do you?
Cause I be in the club. What you mean?
How do you
He's
know?
speaking from experience.
You're generalizing, just like we're generalizing.
She ain't disagree with me yet.
No, but that's not.
She ain't
necessarily
disagree with me
true.
yet.
That's not necessarily true. As long as
Okay,
you're
you be in the club?
I mean,
Oh my god!
I do be in the club. I do.
So how you telling me?
I mean, I do, and I just feel like I don't know.
Oh, you do? When last time you went?
To be mixing and have a good time, and I do feel like, well, that's the idea, but I do feel like people are not present. It's all about perception, like trying to look
It's an
cool
ego
and
thing
and
too.
shit.
Like niggas be moving like this is my section. Like nobody is valid in my section. Like we all here to have a good time.
But my thing is, what's the point of the section when all of y'all are down looking at your phone, sitting there looking dumb?
that's what killed the club.
Where are the
Yeah.
vibes?
And
I see the
and
tequila, but
now-
where's the vibe?
I think now we getting somewhere,
Yeah.
right? Because I think what happens is, like I said, we was talking earlier. I think once you get to the root of it, is social media, right? Everybody's too
Yes, people are
distracted
not
in their
present.
phone.
They phone.
People are not, like you said, present. They want to.
Yeah.
They rather record everything than actually
Mhm.
being in the mix or whatever the case is. Nobody's
Yes.
dancing anymore. Dancing
At
is not a
all.
thing.
Right.
And then when men are trying to be
They is
approachable
dancing.
and go up to them, hey, you want to dance? No, nigga, I don't need to dance with no nigga. Like what
They-
you want?
But my
So
thing
it's
They
like, all
dancing.
right, let me ease off. You know what I mean? And so then now it becomes this rhetoric. This is what men are dealing with. We trying to go out and trying to vibe with you. You know what I mean? You probably have this look because 1,000 niggas done came up to you and try to talk to you. Now you already curved them. Whatever the
But
case is,
these
it's
are
not worth it, like-
generalizations. My thing is for women and men in general, like why can't people just have some individuality? Like, all right, you came with your friends, okay, but
How
why
come to
do
a
you
social
not?
event to
Why
talk
do you
about
not dance?
individuality?
Like, come on, you feeling me? We're having a vibe. Like, why do you not dance? I don't get that. Like,
I have
have fun, let
why
loose.
I
Stop
don't
worried about how
dance.
you look.
Why
What's
don't
your
you dance?
reason?
Okay. I just think at this age, it's like why we can't dance like it was in the 90s where we danced like face to face. Like why you
slow
want me to
dancing?
rub my butt on you? Like I think that looks wildly inappropriate. Like
This is tacky.
it's yeah,
It's
right.
so
It's tacky. Yeah, it's tacky. Like
So it's a
no.
majority
We
thing.
wanna-
I mean, I don't. This is gonna sound crazy, but do women know any other dances outside of twerking? Like,
Absolutely.
I'm being serious. Like, I don't know if y'all
Y'all
know
calling
any
us
other dances
out.
outside of twerking.
Of course.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, I haven't seen it on display, so I don't know what y'all talking
Well,
about.
you
in
just said
90s,
that y'all
what-
don't
what-
dance,
what were they
right?
doing, though?
Nobody
They
dances,
were
so
just
you
like,
wouldn't know.
You know, it's like it was just like a.
Yeah,
that-
I'ma try that
two-step,
next
and
time I
just-
go out.
We talk in the thing at the same time, but
Mhm.
you know, I don't want to grind my butt on you. I
Yeah.
just
But you grind on your
But why do
friends
you
though,
feel
right?
like you have to though?
Huh?
But why do you feel like you have to?
So how else do guys and girls dance? Which is why girls don't want to.
I dance like face forward all the time.
Oh well.
What type of moves you do?
Right.
But like
I'm
he,
I
curious.
literally
Like,
just
what we
like,
do? Like a little-
just
but like
side to
Keem said, y'all got no
side.
problems dancing on your homegirls. So, but why isn't it an issue when a guy wants to dance with you?
Because
Like,
my homegirl doesn't have a dick that I can feel. It's very simple.
so he's attracted to you. Like, I'm not saying a nigga gotta have a stiff dick or nothing
feel
like
like it's
that.
not
Like,
really
you know what I'm saying?
being
But you're attractive
But
woman. You're
ew.
dancing on him. That's human nature. Like any man is
I
gonna
get
like, you know what I'm
human
saying?
Nature, but it's so crazy. When I was younger, I went to a party. My mom pulled me out like 13. Like this is inappropriate. I didn't understand. And then, like I said, as I got older, it looks wild. Like why are you rubbing your? I don't know you. Like
It only looks inappropriate because you can physically see it. Women be getting wet sometimes dancing on niggas, but we can't. Nobody can know that because unless you just blatantly like your shit is moist,
that's
like,
why I feel like this notion is inappropriate. Like it's too close. It's too much.
Man, that's
I
how
see what you're saying.
that's how
And he
our
didn't even
parents
offer a
and
drink.
and grandparents met.
Right.
And meanwhile, didn't even offer
And-
a drink.
That's why you're not getting no drink because you don't want to grind on.
Oh wow! You see, that's ridiculous. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
ridiculous.
I think a lot of times
You think I'm inviting you in my section to sit down?
Yeah, you can't be stush in the club. Like
That's what
everybody's there to have
yo,
a good
No,
time.
it's
but,
a-
I don't think
you're
it's not wrong to
assuming
do a
just
little
because someone's not
one-shot.
grinding, shaking her ass on you that she's stiff. No,
Really?
there's people have other things to offer as well.
But you're assuming
Maybe
that
it's
a
just a
man
vibe.
is supposed to just give you a drink because you're a woman.
I did not say that. I did not say
You
that.
say you're not even gonna offer me a drink.
Well,
like,
you're showing interest. So if you're showing interest, then you should offer someone a drink. That's what you do in the club. You don't be talking in someone's face for 10 minutes and
Right.
you
And
got
then
a
walk
whole
away.
table. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? It's tip for tat. You got to take control once in a while as a man and be, like, I don't
I
understand.
feel like the club scene is about finesse. You will get the drink if you bust a little 1-2. I'm feeling her.
And I've
Oh,
seen
let me get
niggas
you
give out a
drink.
drink and then sure you just go to a next
then you
nigga
never
and
know,
get a
like,
drink from him. Like,
exactly.
women be
Well,
fixing
that's-
shit.
that's the
Quick.
chance that you have to take. This is a club, okay? This is a club.
The club
this
is a wild
This is the
scene. You
game
be
of the
doing
club.
anything
It
in
is
the
what it
club.
is.
So
I-
you're accepting the drink for somebody you're not interested in?
Well, me personally, no, but I'm not. But it's the thought that matters. Like I'll be upset, like you even came in my face and offer me one, even though I
So
don't
it's like
want one from
so
you
feel
if I'm not interested.
disrespected.
Yes,
You say you
Thing.
you say you'd be upset if you what?
Don't offer
I'll
her a
be
drink.
I'll be offended if you came in my face and you offer me a drink and you did all of this, like
So when
I
should he
can
offer
just-
you? Like when he meets you,
Yeah, I was
like,
literally
hey, how you
thinking,
doing? Like, can I get you a
It's
drink?
just a polite thing to do. Yeah, it's like it's just
It's
a
club
gesture.
etiquette.
It's just an etiquette. That's it.
I thought the
I don't
dance,
want
the
it.
dance is the
I'm
mating
good.
sort.
Yeah,
Like, you know
no,
what I'm
it is.
saying?
No, the
Like,
dance is that happens later.
So before the conversation, hey, you want
Want
a
a
drink?
drink?
Yes, exactly. No, you make a little small talk. No. No, you make a little small talk.
Mhm.
Do what you do, but you don't just start shaking
don't
your
like
ass
talking
for a
too
drink.
much
How
in the
does that
club.
come
It
first?
be
You make
mad
a little small
loud.
talk. You grown.
Mhm.
Hey, what you getting into? I see
Mhm.
you with your friends. By the way, can I get you a drink?
Mhm.
And let's
Gotta
be
smooth
real.
with it,
If
yeah.
a guy is in that club, he had his eye on you. He probably has his eye on a couple girls, and that he's gonna make it. So come correct and come ready. Otherwise, goodbye. That's what I feel. Like I don't know.
Mhm.
I
That
just feel
whole-
like it's.
I think sometimes like I think the clubs nowadays is just a scam. Honestly, like,
It
you know what I'm
is.
saying?
I agree.
Men are just
We'll go
spending all this money in hopes that they're gonna get laid. Because let's keep
Mhm.
it a buck. Men go to the club. They want to get laid at the end of the night. Like we gonna
Mhm.
keep it a buck. Like you get what I'm saying. Women go to the club to have their ego inflated. Like because all you want to do is be able to have the option to reject the men.
So
look
men,
good and
so
reject
men
the
don't do
I know.
rejecting. Then what do you guys do when there's 10 of y'all at the table? Y'all feel like big stuff. You just said you guys act a certain way and you don't want random girls
I
coming
don't
to your
want this
table.
bitch in my
So you
section.
just said it's
Random-
the same
random
thing.
Just
people.
random people.
It's the
man.
same
It
thing,
ain't-
but you're in a club. There's random people everywhere.
No, that's why I got a section to be away
Right.
from
Oh,
the random people.
first of
So I
all-
could choose which random
First
people
of all,
I
let's
interact
be
with.
real. Some of these tables, most of these tables in New York City are a joke. You're on top of other people who
They
are
be like
come
this.
on now. Let's be real.
We talking about sections
Let's
though.
be-
We ain't talking about tables. We talking about sections.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
there's no sections in New York City.
Yeah.
No, it is. You
If
can
that's
find
you
a
want to
girl.
go there.
What?
There's no
sections
sections
everywhere.
There's
That's what I'm
tables.
saying.
What
Y'all
spots
doing
you
it
go
the
to?
wrong way.
Everything is on top of each other.
I don't know
That's
where
what
you
I'm
partying
talking
at, man.
In certain spots.
I don't know where you
Everywhere in the
Nah.
city.
Nah,
Every
they
city
got
is a nice size.
there's
Yeah,
sections,
even
man.
Queens.
There's places that are like how you're describing, but they got
could find a
places
nice
with
size
sections.
section.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Queens.
So either way, my point is to say that okay, that's fair to get their egos stroked. Women go, but so do men. It goes both ways. It goes both ways.
But that's why I say it's a scam. Like, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the night, people are just there to either feed their ego or just.
So why did you go to Miami and drop 2K on the table?
Hey, that was confidential.
That was
Oh, sorry.
Join the membership. Join the membership. Like,
cut that part out. Cut that part out.
I mean, I feel like as we get older, it becomes harder to.
She talking about NBA 2K.
Yeah, she wildin'.
What'd you say? I'm sorry.
I said, as we get older, it becomes harder to find places to have fun. So
that is true.
Like,
and I think people are burnt out of clubs, like, you know what I mean, like club culture and stuff like that. People like myself. I'm getting older. I'm like, that ain't even a wave, really.
And
it's not. They play TikTok music in the club now.
And them
they play what?
TikTok music.
Oh, TikTok.
Like and then all the DJs play the same music. Like it's just so trash.
That is true. The DJs they do only recite. They use like eight songs and then just play them in rotation. Like,
let's keep it real. Them knees ain't kneesing no more. Like, that's what it is.
That's what it
is. Everybody ain't got the begging knees, man. That's what it is, man.
Megan don't even got the begging knees, but you know,
wow. You see what I'm saying?
No, I'm just saying, like, but I do think the DJs do play a part in that as well. Like, you know what I mean? Like, obviously, when we think about the '90s, the DJs really had that motherfucker jumping. Like, you just felt like you had to dance in that motherfucker. The DJs, the mixes was crazy. They was playing the tunes that made people want to dance. You know what I mean? Yo, we was in Atlanta. Shout out to Atlanta. We was in Atlanta and they playing Nuck If You Buck. How you supposed to dance to that? Like, you know what I'm saying? And the women in the Nuck If You Buck. Nuck. I'm like, yo, how is you supposed to dance to this? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Make
like,
you wanna fight. That's not good.
Shake
like
that laffy taffy. Like, I'm just like, bro,
that's a banger.
Nah, that's a group banger. Yeah, no, it's a banger. But how am I supposed to dance to a woman like that? Like, you know what I'm saying?
You could,
you can hit a little one.
Y'all can hit the what you call the dance again? Believe with the rock. You can hit it with a shorty and y'all vibing. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So it's cool.
That tells our age.
That's really all it is. Is that we're the end of our y'all era and y'all growing clubs and need to go to lounges.
Some people in their early 20s feel the way we feel.
I'm 25.
No, because they don't know any better.
In their young 20s, they ain't
buying sections. No one knew any better. It's just the times.
They can't afford them sections in their young 20s, so.
That's true.
Probably house party. They probably in the house party. Maybe the house parties is where it's at. I don't know.
Somebody throw it.
Yo,
bring get-togethers
back. I think you let them off the hook with that social media thing, man. Women ruin club culture, man. It's simple.
Now it's women.
It's women. Like, yo, if y'all came to the club to mingle, like how men come to the club to mingle, it would still be the same.
How about both sides take accountability? Don't just put it all on women saying woman.
Yo, no man. Hold on. No man goes to the club with the intention to not meet a woman.
A lot of men be stood.
Women go to the club with the intention to not give a fuck about nobody else in that spit.
Except for
who they came with.
Wait a minute. How do you know that? What are you talking about?
Yo, yeah. First of all, hold on. Y'all ever see there was this club in New York, and it was an all women's club, and there was pictures of it, and the women was in there, just all of them were just on their phone. Like nobody was dancing. They wasn't even standing. They was in their phone just listening to music.
That's how it would be with all men as well. What is that? What's the point with that?
No. If it was an all man club, it would have been empty because nobody would have went.
Why you have to come to a club with the intentions of meeting a guy though?
Or just a mingle.
Exactly.
Like I said, this is the reason that it's over with, bro.
Oh
like, yo, you wanna hang with your friends? Y'all can go to dinner. Y'all go to dinner. Y'all go to Dave and Buster's. Y'all go all the other shit, man.
I'm outside. I'm not stush. Like I'm mingling.
You can't come to a social event and not want to socialize. That's the issue.
But that's not
socializing is not.
We're not saying don't socialize. We're not saying that we don't come here.
But it's not even dancing. It's like I can't even have a conversation with you because your mentality already is, nigga, I didn't come here to have a conversation with you. I don't need no man. Like that's how some women are.
It sounds like a personal experience.
No, I'm a man. I go to several clubs. He's a man. He goes. Most of the men in the West watching have experienced this, and we can't act like women don't be stush and don't want to give men attention. Don't matter how they approach you. Y'all just have that energy. Like, yo, no, I came by myself.
I feel like men do the same thing.
What we do?
You guys can be standoffish as well. Like big groups of you guys in the section and y'all phone. Y'all think y'all look cool. You know what I'm saying? Trying hard not to look like you're looking, but you're looking like.
Y'all trying to impress.
But the difference is,
if a man is in the section and the girl and the girl he wants walks up, he's not gonna be like.
And that's what I was about now. I was about to comment on that. Remember about subjectively unattractive?
Yeah, you see it.
Now, when it's not the person you want, then what? You guys are acting some. All the girls do not meet the standard of who you want to talk to. So it's not like you're trying to give all the girls. You're trying to give certain girls attention, which is nothing wrong with that.
Right.
You're entitled to your preference, but
Right.
you don't make it seem like you came here to mingle with everybody.
But men are at least willing to socialize. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Okay,
That's the
I get what
problem.
they're saying.
Women
They are a
are
little
not.
more open.
Some women are not even willing to socialize outside of their homegirls. Y'all don't even want to talk to other girls in the club. Like y'all got y'all homegirls. Y'all spinning y'all smoking y'all one hookah with 80 y'all, and y'all just like, you know what I mean? Like
All right,
it's just
don't
like,
do it like that.
I
Don't do us like
understand
that. That would
completely
be
what you're
expensive as
saying.
fuck.
No, me and my friends, we don't do that.
$40.
That should be like $50
We're
some
not putting
places.
8
Why am I
people.
paying to smoke
Nah.
dust?
Yo, we went to a
I
restaurant
like
in
that.
Miami. They were trying to charge
I like
$150
that
for hookah. Like, that was just
That's
crazy.
how it is
Listen,
everywhere.
let me get to this next topic because we can honestly talk about this shit all day.
No, for
That's a
real.
fact.
You know, what are some common downfalls of a friendship? What do y'all think?
Low key haters.
Yeah, jealousy. for sure.
Jealousy.
That's big. Yeah.
And again, everything falls into like people losing touch. I feel like a lot of people truly don't understand how to even be a real friend anymore. You know, so some people, honestly, I just don't even blame them because I don't really truly feel like they mean harm or ill. They just are just so out of touch. Just, you know, they're not, you know, deep, intellectual enough, thoughtful enough, nurturing. You know what I'm saying? They just don't know how to. They're out of touch with themselves, and therefore you can't be a good friend. You know, if you're like that.
You
That's how
can't
I
show
feel.
up for other people if you can't even show up for
100%.
yourself. It's hard to be a good friend sometimes when you got your own shit going on. Though I feel like, and I feel like a lot of people don't understand that you got to give people grace sometimes. Like for real, everybody be going through so much, and then you have somebody talking about why you ain't call me. Like, bitch, I'm dying over here. Give me a second.
I don't even feel like truly a real true friendship. It takes a lot of effort. To me, real true friendship, you should be able to like say a lot of nothing. Sometimes, and sometimes you have to understand that person and like it just it is not in a place where they can, or just being there or doing little shit even without being asked, because you know that person, like small gestures, having them come pick up food, or you dropping it off, or just you know just going.
Show up.
Doesn't have to
That's
always
not
be
in a lot of
So
dinner
let me because I want to get you involved because I feel like you wasn't involved. Man. Like, so what are some common downfalls of friendships to you?
For me, it would be like if my friend winds up being cool with somebody I said I don't like. That's a downfall.
Oh yeah, that's shady.
I can't be friends with somebody that's cool with somebody I don't like.
Got you. All right. Now I think that's I feel like this the same way, but I'm always curious to have this conversation with women because women, y'all struggle at keeping some of y'all friendships with y'all homegirls, especially if any dinner party is guaranteed somebody's gonna lose a friend in that dinner party. Like, you know what I'm saying? So like, women always seem, especially when I go on social media, I always see women almost begging for female friends. It's like, oh girl, let's be friends, or like it's almost like y'all begging for that. Like, you know what I mean? And with guys, we usually have our circle. We don't really, you know, if we meet to like another guy or whatever, it'd be cool. But friendships, we have our circle already, and we just comfortable with that circle, and we don't require as much in our male friendships.
I admire that about men. Y'all be having friends from like grade school, kindergarten. It's like, how did y'all make it through all those phases of life?
Yeah, I've always admired that as well.
Yeah,
like literally, like
brotherhood.
how I've lost so many friends throughout the years just as I've grown as a person, and it's like, damn.
I think
tough.
people also just outgrow each other. Like, sometimes things aren't as deep as people make it out to be. Like, sometimes people not meant to be around you forever. If you met somebody when you was 7, it's a chance that y'all changed between it. So maybe when you're 27, this person is not right for you no more.
But why we can't just come together and have those talks and accept each other through those different phases
That's
of
the
life?
thing, because women don't really truly accept their friends for who they are. They're always trying to be like, all right, I'm in this phase of my life and I need to surround myself with everybody who's in that same phase. You know, men, they tend like everyone's going through different phases and they accept that. That's it. They talk, they're just there for each other. Women are always trying to cut something off because of something. It's very conditional.
I totally understand that.
And it's
horrible.
horrible.
I just had
friendship.
Oops, sorry.
My love and the friendship. Sorry.
I just had a conversation with someone, and like they were saying that it was hard to be around people that weren't as ambitious as them. Mind you, they're talking to me. I was like, what? I was like, yo, you gotta be careful.
And that was a woman that said that?
Yeah. I was like, you gotta be careful about how you say stuff. Like, I know you didn't mean anything towards it, but just because I'm not on the same journey as you, you can't say somebody is not as ambitious as you.
100%.
The crazy part is,
and everyone has roles.
Yeah, I only ever hear that rhetoric coming from women. Like, men don't never say something like that. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like, yo, we understand each of our friendships. And we like, all right, well, if you're not as ambitious, I'm not gonna cut you off as a friend. It's just like, all right, you just stay over there, you cool, but I'm not cutting you off. Some women be like, damn, you ain't, if you want some B. Simone type shit, you're like, yo, if you're not an entrepreneur like me, we can't be friends. Like, you know what I mean? Shout out to B. Simone. But you know, it's just like, you know, it's just, you know, women friendships are way more complicated. Like, y'all definitely require a lot more.
And they like really like relationships just without sex.
No, it really is. Because we're
Maybe I should start
emotional
having
beings.
sex.
Like, that'd be me. I'm not gonna lie. I'd be quick to cut people off because it's just like I have a low tolerance for bullshit, and I show up for my friends. So I feel like if you're not meeting me the same way I'm meeting you, then it becomes like you gotta go. Because why am I putting in 80% and you only showing up 20%?
Because now it's like the person is taking advantage of you, and that's why like. It may not seem like a big thing with the whole birthday dinner, but it becomes a big thing because it's like, yo, I come to your birthday dinner every year. Like, I have a birthday dinner, and you don't come to my birthday dinner now. Yes, it's a problem. I don't care what you're going through. You know my birthday every year.
Damn, like, I'm saying,
and my thing is too.
I just had heart surgery.
Because a guy will understand if his girl can't make
honestly,
it, bro.
if you got something crazy going on, but people just be making excuses to just be bad friends.
Literally,
like they'll be like, "Oh, I felt depressed. I'm
bullshit.
depressed," and it's just like, "Yo, man, everybody."
That's a real.
I'm not saying it's not, but if the doctor didn't diagnose you with depression, you are not depressed. So exactly, you can't just now. Right now, it's my birthday. Now you depressed.
And can we talk about these birthday dinners? Fuck these birthday dinners. If this is the only time I'm seeing you this whole year, you didn't have time for me any other time. Then bitch, take me off the list.
All of a sudden,
that goalpost like
no money.
All year.
Like, we just like, yo,
if I don't come to the door, if I do come, but that's the only time I come.
If my friends say, yo, my pockets ain't really hitting right now, I can't make. I'm like, all right, it's all good. Like,
different, showing grace, but you know,
it's not. It's you making it extreme.
No,
it's not like I'm just people just don't care. But like I said,
fuck your depression.
Nah,
no,
like,
but it's just like, because you know that person and you know that it's just a pattern. That's what I'm saying. When it's just
excuses, it's like certain things become excuses, or when it becomes like I said, an over and over thing, over and over again. Like I said, I have birthday dinners. You don't come to mine, I'm coming to yours every year around my birthday for whatever reason. Your pockets is messed up.
My bad.
No, go ahead.
What it be for me is like you pop out all year. All year. We outside damn near every weekend. There's one day that counts. You can't show up. That pissed me off.
Secretly envious. That's all. That's weird. It's very weird. Yeah.
That's a little weird to me.
They probably should have stayed home one of them nights so they could stay here.
There low key needs to be a study on female friendships. Like, low key, bro. Somebody
probably should have took one of them nights off.
A scientist for this.
That's
motherfucker,
all it is.
man.
Girls
like,
be weird.
Listen, yo, before we get into this next topic, hit that like button, subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Put your favorite part in the comments. If y'all agree, disagree, maybe I'm wilding, maybe, you know, Keem. I don't know, man. Just let us know. This next topic, right? Seen this floating around on social media, and this one woman said, it's weird. She basically said it's weird that men are no longer obsessed with women anymore. Do y'all feel that way?
Yeah.
100%.
Okay, and why do you think that is? Do y'all have any Do y'all have any reasons?
Absolutely.
Okay, let me.
Of course, I have a reason. Okay. I feel like the reason they not obsessed is because, I hate to say it again, and I hate to seem like I'm being judgmental to women when I'm a woman myself, but I feel like social media and there's no mystery, and then also I feel like a lot of things that we as women as a whole that we say. That maybe sometimes it's just something that we're just putting on social media. It was just a joke. I feel like guys really be turned off by those things. Like, they really judging you by the things you put up.
The boy quotes, right? Like,
yeah, like I feel like they're really judging you, like, by those things.
They watch from afar.
And
definitely do.
And also, like, just feeling like it's this pressure of feeling like they gotta take care of you. Like, I wouldn't want to be obsessed with nobody if I feel like as soon as I walk to them, they're gonna be like, my light bill is due.
You spitting.
It's
that is a real thing.
$2,000.
What's your thoughts on this? Why do you think men are not obsessed with women anymore?
I don't think they ever really was obsessed with women. I don't think so.
They should write songs about it.
I feel like they did a lot of things for us back then, but now that females have their own stuff going on, it's like, all right, she got her own. I'm not really gonna put too much effort into her. But as far as obsession, I don't think they was ever really obsessed.
Interesting.
That is interesting.
That is interesting.
Well, anybody else got any?
I think that women are just too accessible. So men don't like to work hard, think too hard. They don't want complications as it is. So the fact that there's Instagram, all these platforms where they could just have a fucking beautiful woman, access to her whenever they want, and then not have to put too much effort, I feel like that's what it is. Because then you have, Shirley freaking telling you, you have to do this and do that and to have access to me. That is I'm not feeling that. When I could have this girl and we could be hanging out tonight and doesn't take much effort at all, So ultimately, we are the problem because women hold the power. But just basically, it is what it is. It's women are too accessible. That's what I feel like it is.
I agree with that.
I think the best thing and the worst thing women ever did was being sexually liberated, because y'all just made it a lot easier for men to just get access to your bodies because y'all fell in love with this feminist BS movement. Now everybody wants to be sexually liberated. Now you want to have 1,000 bodies. Okay, well now everybody gets a body. Like, you know what I mean? So I think, men are not, I do agree, men are not obsessed with women because first of all, being obsessed with somebody just sounds like toxic, like, you know what I'm saying?
No,
like, you're like, damn, like
crazy obsessed.
Yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like when Eminem was obsessed with Mariah Carey and shit like that. He was just fucking crazy and shit like that.
Crazy.
But and then, I don't think women
allegedly.
Allegedly. Like, I don't think some women are really putting themselves separating themselves. Like most of the women look alike nowadays. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they don't value their body naked. There's nothing left for the imagination. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? So I don't think that there's really anything really to be obsessed with women over nowadays. Like, you know what I mean?
I think I'm gonna have to disagree with y'all, man. I think men are obsessed with women. I just think that it's just a lot of options. That's all. I mean, men, straight men, do everything they do in life for women. Like, at the end of the day, everything you doing is for a woman, bro. Like, you getting your hair cut, you buying nice clothes, you getting a nice car, all that shit is for women. So it's an obsession there. I don't think
it's an obsession.
I think
it's not an obsession. Like, yeah, I wouldn't say it's obsession. Like, yeah, you do things for women, but you're not obsessing over them. Yeah. It's like, okay, cool.
Yeah, your whole thought process is for women. The reason you go to work, the reason you wake up in the morning and go to work is so you can have money, so you can provide for a woman and their family. Like, it's an obsession. Like, to me, that's obsession.
It's not obsession.
I haven't heard about that.
I think men are obsessed with exclusivity, but there's nothing exclusive about a woman nowadays. Like, well, some women.
There's nothing exclusive about men either.
Even when it's this, a wholesome girl, because I have a plethora of friends. Even when it's a wholesome girl that leaves things to the imagination or whatever the fuck they talking about, it's still the same thing.
They get treated
so.
They get treated the same.
Yes.
The same how?
I mean, they have the same stupid issues. And like, it's not even like just because they don't have certain type of pictures that people comes and approach them correctly. Like, it's still they probably dealing with that same.
They probably dealing with that same man. Like a bunch of women is dating a small percentage of men, the male population.
And and I guess that's our fault.
I mean,
are y'all not picking them?
Oh my God!
Do you not pick the men you date?
That's not our fault. I don't care.
What? So, she was preaching when Umar was like, yeah, it's not our fault. Like, he was right. Like,
Do you not have the choice to pick who you want to date?
I do.
Right. So who you blaming for who you're picking?
How do you know it's one small section of men?
We were talking about this earlier. They show up with their representation. So they switch up on you.
Okay. How much times that happened to you before you could spot it?
That is true. It can only happen but so many times.
Before you
I think that's the excuse women like to tell themselves.
It's not an excuse
for them to be consistently choosing the same poor quality.
No
man.
way.
Like, he changed up on me. He had a wife. He like you choosing the same person.
If a man is putting up a front in the beginning, how many times a nigga will come around and put up a front in the beginning before you be like, I seen this before. Like,
They
I
do
mean, how many times?
They
Like,
do say if you keep attracting the same person, it's inner work that you have to do with yourself. So they
There we
say
go.
that.
There we go. Can we get a round of applause for that? Like, you know what I'm
They
saying?
do
There
say
we
that.
go. There
I
we go.
can't-
Nah, it
Because
really
look,
be like
I'm
a
sorry.
different
Look,
issue.
there you go.
Some people are just fraudulent.
There you go.
Well,
Yes,
listen,
this is
no,
why I
but
can't
as a
bash.
man,
True,
as a
though.
man, right? I pride myself on selecting quality women. Like, I'm gonna vet them properly.
Yeah.
If I choose a poor quality woman, I can't blame her. I have to blame myself. I don't have that luxury to be like, damn, you know what, Umar, there's a lot of
But if she led
Sukianas
you
out
to
here. Like,
believe
there's a lot of
otherwise,
sexy
yes.
reds out here. I had no other choice but to date a sexy. No, I have the choice. So you get what I'm saying? Just like
And-
women,
But you're
they
talking
have
about
the choice.
physical
Like,
qualities.
no, I'm
not
not.
like
I'm just talking about in general. Like,
there's certain things that you don't know. People show you what they want to show you.
Correct.
Okay, especially these days, people are very fucking damn near narcissistic. Okay, and people get fooled all the time, and some people don't even know what
People
the hell
get
they
fooled
are
all the
or
time?
who they are.
Yeah.
So the switch up probably wasn't even
I'm guessing
intentional.
I got it.
mm.
All right, so it's like it's not that's not fair to say necessarily.
But how many times? How
Fool me
many
once,
times? That's what I want to know, man.
A lot of
'Cause
times.
well,
a lot of times,
you
right?
not-
a lot
you
of
not-
times.
And-
That's
and
crazy.
I can tell you right
But
now, it ain't
also,
happened to me a
but
lot
you
of
know why
times.
that
Oh, yeah.
happens a lot
Once you-
because
I can tell you right now,
women-
it ain't happened to me a lot
But
of
women
times.
are more emotional beings, so it makes sense.
Every excuse except
No, it's
taking
not an excuse.
accountability.
We
like, you know
are
what I'm saying?
different.
Like,
You were
What's
trying to make us.
accountability?
We
What are
are
you saying?
different. Men and
Huh?
women are
What
different.
exactly are you saying?
like for accountability.
Yeah.
Hey,
like, what-
listen, I attract the characteristics that I like in men
Mhm.
are usually toxic characteristics that is no good for a healthy long-term relationship.
And
Like, you know
I
what I'm
turn a
saying?
blind
Like,
eye when I see these red flags
Mhm.
because
But
I'm
that's
so
not-
blinded
I ain't gonna lie,
by
they
the
spitting
other
right now. They
characteristics that
literally
I
he had
like. you know what I
money.
mean?
He had money. He loved bomb me with money, and like you fall
He
into
bought,
the
he
same,
bought me
like-
flowers. He opened my door, and then he just stopped doing it. Like I'm like,
Well,
oh, like,
okay,
Yeah.
that's a good example.
Right.
Okay.
How can you be
No,
prepared for that?
Now that's
Yeah.
a good
How
example.
can you
be
You
Exactly.
How can you be
vet
prepared
the
for that?
guy
You
He
tricked
is right.
You
and
have to
stop
date-
jumping in a relationship in 2
off of
weeks?
materials, like, you know
But
what
You
I'm
gotta
saying?
I
date
don't
them
do-
long enough.
Relationships is different.
Niggas
though.
want to tell on themselves every time. If you date them long enough, they gonna tell
Every
themselves.
time, but it's only so long you can keep up this facade. Man.
Yeah, but by that point, everybody's facade is a different amount of time. By this point, a person could be in love. I'm in love
So
now.
this is the thing.
It depends on the
Women,
time.
especially women in our community, y'all got
Okay.
all this education. Y'all so knowledgeable. You got this, y'all entrepreneurs, but y'all still are getting finessed by the same types of niggas. Like, I don't understand this. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what is going
Women-
It's
on?
because we follow
Y'all got
with
astrology,
our, what is
into
it,
women's
our heart.
intuition. Y'all educated. Y'all got every damn
Women
thing.
are emotional
Yeah.
beings.
right.
And we
Lead
follow
with
our heart and our
emotions.
brain.
That's the
I feel like
only
it's
I'm
a
not
constant
that.
battle between the brain and the heart. Your brain gonna tell you, girl, this is not the man for you. You need to
Mhm.
dip. But that heart, you gonna be like, oh, but he did this. That
So,
one little thing, you gonna run with it.
take that accountability and say, okay, I saw the red flags, but I still decided to rock with it and see how far it's gonna go.
No, I
and then I got
agree.
burned. That's it.
I
But that's
mean,
you.
Either way, you get burned either way. Whether you leave quicker or earlier,
Mhm.
it's still gonna happen.
But at
So
least
you
you,
might as well just
no,
rock
I
out.
think, but where it benefits you, at least you caught it
Of course.
ahead of time,
Of course
and
it
you like, yeah, I'm
benefits you.
out.
Of course, it benefits you, but you still got food.
I
Yeah.
think
That's the game in dating.
with some women, it's easier to just blame the quality of men instead of looking in the mirror and taking accountability for the men that you're attracting. There's a lot of great men out here, like, you know what I mean? There's a lot of great women out here. Sometimes we don't know how to attract those women. We're not in the areas to attract them. Like, we
Mhm.
probably in fucking a hookah lounge where there's not the best quality of women or
Even
men
in
there.
church,
Like, you know
you
what I'm
get fooled
saying?
in
Like,
church, there be a lot of imposters.
I mean,
That's
yeah,
true, though.
men and women get fooled.
That's
Like, you know
true.
what I mean? But men, we don't have that luxury to be like, man, we're emotional. I just fell for this
Well,
type of
that's
woman.
the-
Like, you know what I
that's the
mean?
thing.
Like,
You don't have that luxury, but that's what makes us men, and makes us women, and you men. We have different characteristics. That's just what it is.
that don't mean
not a
you can't not
luxury.
take account. Yeah, we
But
both are
it's not-
human and we
I'm not
both
talking
can take
about
accountability.
but I'm just talking about differences
I get-
that
mhm.
lead to why we make the decisions we make. That's it. Simple as that. You know, that's all I'm saying. I understand about taking accountability. You're right.
Just fighting accountability, dodging that shit like, yo,
No,
nah, I
I'm
ain't-
not. I'm
Oh,
not.
dude.
I agree.
You believe
No.
you believe in emotional intelligence?
Yes.
All right. So at what point does a woman become emotionally intelligent?
When
We're
you
Do you
always
think?
getting your
emotionally
heart
intelligent.
broke.
Oh, you always. But your emotions is leading. My bad. I don't know.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't
we're
sound
very
very
we're very
intelligent.
complicated creatures. So.
Yeah, we
Yo,
are.
always emotional
she's still
intelligent.
ducking that
But
shit.
your
Like, you know what I'm saying?
emotions
We
is the
are-
ones that's letting you down.
Yes,
It takes a while.
that's the story of our life.
That don't sound contradictory,
That
like-
smile is just bad funny.
Everything
You
is
just never stop
always-
smiling.
No, literally, he's so
Yo.
cheesy.
This don't sound contradictory to you though.
But that's the whole. The
Oh yeah.
beautiful
Oh,
woman.
women just contradictive is what you say. Oh,
That's- yeah,
all right.
hard to
all
say.
right.
That's an
All
easier
right.
conclusion.
All right.
Humans
Yes,
are
we
Accountability.
Yes.
Accountability.
That's not
All right,
fair.
all right.
Listen,
And
figure
now
it out,
we're
goddammit,
not
figure it
as
out.
we're not as like what do you say, cutting edge as men are, predictable and all that. We are very complex. We have
I feel
Mhm.
like
different
I
kind of
noticed.
nature.
I feel like I've
So-
noticed something.
What?
I
What you
feel like
noticed?
you guys are just trying to blame women.
Mhm.
it's,
Like-
all, it's all right.
Well, the same way women are trying to blame men.
No,
What
we're
y'all trying to
not.
do?
No, we're not.
What you trying to do?
No.
What you trying to do?
Everything
You
is
guys
a
started
woman's
the
fault.
I think that's what happens in these
We on
conversations.
to y'all. We on.
This is what happens a lot in society, and I'm noticing this a lot with social media. It's very okay for women to voice their frustrations with men, and they have no problem saying
Oh,
that.
here we go.
But the moment a man has a different opinion, then it's like, y'all trying to put the blame.
Here
we just had a
we
whole.
go.
Everybody on this panel was just trying to blame men 5 minutes ago. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm.
So,
Y'all just said all men-
Who's gonna win? At this point, we need a point
How about
system.
we just come
Team-
it's like a
together.
tug of war.
Right,
we just like, you know what I'm
because
saying?
it's not a win or
It's not-
lose
it's- no,
thing.
but well, we trying to just say accountability. We trying to say that
Exactly.
But I
men can
don't
take
see
accountability.
Any
First of all-
I haven't seen any
First
accountability
of all,
from you guys.
we trying to tell y'all to stay away from the guys y'all choosing because obviously it's not working for y'all. And y'all over here talking about, oh, we blaming y'all. What are we
The
blaming you for?
emotions.
You know if
and
I'm
all
not
that.
We
happy.
don't even know who y'all
You
are.
happy?
We don't know.
Right, I ain't
You
say
in a
that
relationship?
about
I never
right.
said
You
I
in a
was
relationship?
unhappy.
We don't know.
You in a
And
relationship?
said that.
You in a relationship?
Though.
Ooh, why you
Why
have
you
business?
trying to get people in
Huh?
trouble?
Right, I am doing.
Next
I am
question.
doing what I'm doing. I am.
Yeah.
But you happy. But you
That's
happy.
what
I am
I'm saying.
happy.
Girl is-
Okay, all right.
That's
As long as
good.
you happy.
I
man.
love that for you.
All right.
Mm-mm.
As long as
Yo.
you happy.
Yo,
Are you
Daily
gonna
Rap-
be happy in the next 3 months?
I should be.
Okay, all right.
Are
Yo, we
you
do
happy?
What kind of question is
dailyrapupcrew.co.
that?
We do sell that cat food, by the way, for the ladies. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Whatever.
That's what y'all want to buy. Like,
They
come
say
cop
the
it. Like, you
name
know what I'm
that we
saying?
say.
Like, yo, what was the name we had?
Daily Rap Cats.
The
Yeah,
Daily Rap
like-
Cats.
Listen, let me
That's fire,
get
I ain't
to this
gonna lie.
next topic. But I think just real quick, just to have a solution, I think everybody should just take accountability, do the self work. You know what I mean? If that means maybe you might have to go to therapy,
Yep.
both men and women, to realize why you attracting a certain quality of people. Just, I think we both have to just do the work and take accountability.
That's
The next topic, why does it seem like, or do you think that women are friendlier to women that have a certain aesthetic, like the quote unquote bad bitch aesthetic? Because there was a quote by was it Erica Banks, and she was like, "Yo, she can't hang around women that are not baddies, that basically don't got the BBL body." And then you got Saucy Santana saying like, damn, she not even a bad bitch, she don't even got a BBL, like, you know what I mean? So it is, it is interesting when we look at women that do have this aesthetic that they do get treated with preferential treatment, like either by guys and both by women. Like, you know what I mean? Women tend to be more friendlier to women that have a certain aesthetic to them than they are to a girl that looks like, some craziness. I can't even give an example. So do y'all see that as in y'all day-to-day life? Do you think women with a certain aesthetic get preferential treatment?
I feel like
Not
they
with
do
me.
because they look up to them. They
Well,
aspire
it
to.
depends.
In this day and age, I feel like they do. Like your go-to woman is the girl with the 10-inch waist, 40-inch ass, 30-inch bust down. Oh, she fired. And she got money. And she got 50K. Like, or not 50, but a high following is like it's inspirational to like your average young girl. Like in today's age, I think. I don't agree with it, but that's
I'm gonna go a step further and say I don't think women genuinely like other women unless they fit a certain aesthetic. Like,
I agree.
They
with
don't
that.
genuinely like. Yeah, exactly. It's just a mindset because it's just basically they're intimidated or what else can they offer besides that mindset, and so they want to be surrounded by other people who think like them. So most of those girls, if they're obviously with the BBLs, it's a lifestyle or whatever, so they probably don't have much else to offer a lot of times. Sometime I'm not gonna say all the time, you know what I'm saying? It's a mindset, and because it's, why would you care if you really want quality friendships? Why would that come out your mouth? That just goes to show a lot about you.
And it's just
So,
the image too.
Are we referring
it's
to?
weird.
Are we referring to them and what they're being friends with? Is that what we're talking about? Because I'm confused.
yeah, I mean, do women only like women that fit a certain aesthetic? Is
So we
really
talking
the
about
question.
all
Like,
women?
the
Or-
women that fit that aesthetic, you sure?
Yeah.
So the
like-
women
like
that
the
fit that
baddie
aesthetic.
aesthetic.
Okay. So I think that women like other
But
women that
specifically BBL
fit
Mhm.
their aesthetic is because, I mean, as weird as it may sound, they kind of don't fit in with other people, and some people won't admit it, but sometimes other people that don't have certain things that they got going on do feel insecure. And they not gonna admit it, but they do. So it's easier for them to hang out with people that already got all that stuff going on.
Exactly.
It's an image thing too. If you surrounded
Right.
by a bunch of baddies, like they just probably feel like they're gonna attract a certain type of dude or like a certain type of crowd, or they may be taken a little bit serious. Like I got nothing but bad bitches. Like
So you would treat those women like differently, like you'd be more friendlier to those women.
Well, me personally,
not
What?
you,
I'm like, wait,
not
what?
you, but women in general. You think that's why they're more friendlier to those
Yeah.
type of women?
I do agree. I do feel that way. I feel like girls probably want like the baddie friend, like whether
That's
it's her
crazy.
best friend or a group of friends. Like
So pretty women get special treatment from men and women. That's crazy.
I mean, that is
That's crazy.
they do. I've seen it firsthand. It's very embarrassing. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah,
Why
but
do
but
people-
it's not
Why does
necessarily
people
special
shame
treatment. It's
people for their
very
preference?
weird energy. It's like almost like they're envious. Like they say they like their enemies close. Like it's a weird energy. Like they're probably like low key sometimes jealous of you. It's very it's a weird kind of energy. It's
What
not
you
like
talking about?
So you mean
pure.
they being fake
Like
friendly to them?
yes, like I feel like just like I
That's
watched
weird.
something interesting today about like good looking women, for example, beautiful women. You either have people who hate you or literally like or
keeping their
or
enemies
like are
close.
neutral of you. No, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, exactly. You have a different kind of struggle. You're treated differently just from
That's
being
a little
My
weird
thing
to
is,
me. If
why
that's the
why
case.
do people make
Someone always
everything
hates
so
on you.
deep? Like why? Like what's wrong with somebody having a preference? Like I really
Because
didn't
you're
find.
discriminating.
I feel like
against-
that's very
I mean,
shallow.
everything is discriminatory. Why people act like discrimination don't exist or whatever? Whatever. I don't care how it sounds. Everyone is entitled to their preference. If I only like dark skinned guys, I only like dark skinned guys. That's my business. I should not have to feel like I need to include light skinned guys because people think it's my
What about their
preference.
First of all,
personality? The shit that
the
friendship?
craziest part is men have been saying that and y'all been killing them over this colorism shit. And women can freely be colorist and it's my preference. So, men don't have
Listen.
men don't have that luxury. The luxury that you have as a woman to have a preference for a darker skin complexion.
See, but I just
Men
said
can't
that.
have a preference
I'm
for
not
lighter
saying that
skinned
that's
women,
my
like, you know what I'm
preference. I
saying?
just said it for
Everybody
context of the
have a
of the conversation. Everyone is can have a preference. What do you mean? I don't understand that
But
because
we
you just made it a color thing. I was talking about preference in general.
You said dark skin. Like,
Yeah,
I
but
like a
that's
dark
only
skin.
like I said. I just ended up using color, but maybe okay. I like.
But how you gonna
short
blame
guys.
him for making it a color thing? And you brought up this.
Because it's not a colorist. Because he said we have the
But you-
luxury of
But
being
you never
able
said,
to say that.
for example, I could say blah blah. Oh, you said was I could say I like that. So he, you know what I mean? One
but
can
it's
assume
a
that's what you
preference
like.
thing. Why is people always shamed for their
Nah, but
preferences?
I think it's different when it comes to preference and dating preferences and just being a friend. Like why would a physical appearance be a standard of your friend?
I mean,
Yeah.
for
It's your
that,
character.
maybe
Your
for
character gotta be
everybody,
friends with someone like
for
that.
everybody, it probably shouldn't be like that. But for Erica Banks, I understand why she said that. She has a certain image that she's keeping up, so she wants a certain amount of right. She wants certain people around him, just like P Diddy and all the other male celebrities. They don't just walk around with people they met from outside. They have certain type of people around them. But
they got their friends. They ain't saying like, yeah, my friend got to look a certain way. That's my friend. Like
they got their friends. They got their other money men around them. Like, what you talking about? They aren't.
I get you have an image to uphold, but your character got to
That's
be
very-
up there. You
that's
can't be no
so-
shitty ass good looking girl.
That's not genuine. I don't feel like that's a genuine. Like I think a friendship. That's very strange. Like someone is, I wouldn't, musician, whatever the hell you are, Erica Banks. I don't know who she is, but that's just to me like you're not a genuine person. Like if something as wholesome as a friendship, you're saying something like this, and I don't trust anything that from you. honestly.
Agreed.
And this is
You're
No, I'm-
literally
I'm-
you have to
Maybe hanging
control
with the
something
other
as far as
IG
your
models.
friendships. Like that's
I
crazy.
just feel like like I said, I'm not talking about me, myself. I'm talking about in the context of what he said with Erica Banks. Like, I feel like, certain people in certain limelights, they got to do things different. They do things differently than how we do things. But when you actually verbalize things, people get sensitive.
Yeah, I think that and I do agree. There's some people that do have that preference, but I think that also adds to the social pressures of women because now not only are men judging a woman's appearance, now evidently women are judging other women's appearances.
Yeah.
So it's like now I feel more pressured to go under this knife, which is a dangerous procedure that nobody ever talks about. You know what I mean? And, risk my life to have a certain aesthetic so people are more friendly to me, or I could be in certain sections, or like I get certain access to job opportunities. It becomes like, and this is why I understand why women have it harder when it comes to social standards and stuff like that, because there's a lot of pressure. I get it from both genders, like, you know what I mean? So, Wolf, how much time we got? Listen, I do want to get into a topic you had about this whole catcalling situation, right? I forgot how we worded it, but it was like, should men have the luxury, I guess, to catcall women, or how did you describe it? Like,
So basically, I was saying, especially being in New York, it just seems like, men will try to talk to you, when knowing damn well they are not in your bracket. Like I feel like you're not even in their lane. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you look like you just rolled out of bed. Like like, what makes you think? You know what I'm saying? You look at how you portraying yourself, and you see my whole. You know what I'm saying? I'm makeup done. I'm ready to go out, and you think that I would want someone like you to freaking come and approach me.
So because why do men feel comfortable catcalling women, like even though they're out of the league?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, okay. Straight up.
Like, Ace,
and also when they know they're not interested, they don't read the room.
They don't.
It's been times that maybe like a bum or like somebody asking for money, like they'll be dead asking for money. Then they see me walk by. They be like, "Can I get your number, beautiful?"
Like, why
I'm not gonna lie, that make me want to go back in the house and like figure out like what made you
dead ass though.
feel like
I
feel
good.
I feel disrespected. Like, why
first of all, bums they should have other things to worry about.
Yeah,
trying to get, what phone they even got? Like they bums. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Where we even gonna go?
Bums is shooting their shot.
Hello.
Where we going?
So you had a good point, right? You said some people have like confidence. So
I'm the opposite though.
No.
Anybody could come up to me and talk to me.
What?
I'm I'm not saying it like
Why?
that, but I'm not like rude. Like I'm not gonna like shut you off because you look like you just shopped at the dollar store.
Shout out to you,
Nah,
man. Like,
I
you could be
no,
blocking
you
your
can talk
blessings.
to me.
You
No,
could be
you
blocking
can-
your
people could
blessings.
talk to
Sorry,
me.
no.
I have conversations with people. I have a homeless guy that I
Exactly.
speak
That's
to
what
every
I'm
day.
saying.
It's being
What's with you and
friendly.
these
It's
homeless
some.
Right.
I work in a nonprofit
makes
organization,
sense.
so I'm around stuff like that.
Right.
But trying to holler at me and me being friendly is two different things. Like you
100%.
said,
I mean,
they
you
got
gotta draw the
different
line
things.
and tell them
They don't know when to draw the line.
Some of them don't.
They don't know
but-
when to draw the line.
Mm.
But also
Some
my
of them
point
don't.
is, and since we want to talk about, men this, women this is a luxury that women don't have. We don't have the luxury to be able to go up to a guy, any guy, we think a guy that looks like freaking Idris Elba or some guy that's very handsome. We don't do that. Like,
Wait,
we
no.
have
No,
some-
you can shoot
we
yourself.
can,
no.
but
Y'all
we
have
are
the
more
luxury.
conscious.
It depends
No, we
on the-
don't.
I
No,
don't.
because when I was
I don't.
younger years ago, I used to do that. Like if I was at a bar, I'd do that, and then instantly, even if the guy was eyeing me, instantly me going up to him, approaching him. It's like instantly a turn off. It's happened. It's like
Okay.
it's
That's
just
one
like
dude.
men are.
I can't
No,
shoot my
You gotta
shot.
get used to
happens all the
rejection.
time.
Like, that's
No, it
all,
was
like-
not
Yeah,
rejection.
nah.
It's just like
I've
the
heard
mean-
guys say that they feel like that's too forward.
Exactly.
That's
like,
what women-
oh,
That's what
I'm-
women say to
listen.
justify not shooting their shot.
I'm
Like,
not
that's
justifying
crazy.
going up
any-
to a guy.
oh
If I
my
think
God.
the guy,
Would y'all
cheap or
want
whatever,
somebody
Where's
to
the
I'm
shoot
going
their
up
shot
to
to
a guy.
you?
Yeah.
Yes,
Sure,
absolutely.
Why would I be against that? Like,
Absolutely.
I'm going up to any guy I think look good.
You're making my job
I'm-
easier.
Can I ask
I'm
you a
going
question?
right up to-
So how do you shoot your shot?
If
I'm
I
asking
find
personally.
him attractive, I'm gonna go up to him
And say what though?
Hi.
and say, "Hey, I'm gonna speak, like have a regular conversation."
it don't take much. Like, you
Oh,
don't
you
need,
gotta
you don't
say
need
hi.
no witty
Like,
punchline.
you don't have
You don't
to.
make them
Yeah,
laugh.
yeah.
Like,
I'm gonna go.
All you gotta say is hi, man.
Yeah.
Now,
That's
if
it.
I'm a
What's
little
up?
tipsy, maybe.
Feel-
How you doing?
Sober, I'm gonna throw up. I'm gonna be so nervous.
Nah, I'm gonna do it.
I think that's why it's so.
That's how you get rejected.
This is why.
man.
This is why it's so confusing.
My bad. I'm sorry.
This is why it's so confusing for men, because on one end you have women complaining that, oh, men don't approach women anymore, and then on the other end it's like, nigga, why you approaching me? You out of my. It's like, damn.
No,
but
because-
it's
But to your point, you said you did your makeup, you just nice, all this, and he rolled out of bed, blah blah. Y'all going two different places. Obviously, you got your makeup done, you blah blah.
No,
You going
he's a
somewhere else.
bum. There's a difference. Y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. Y'all know exactly what I'm
We're
talking about.
talking about real bums.
Yeah, like
No, not even.
the fake
No,
one, the
not
real
even.
one.
Like a bum that's not a bum. Like, like for example, the guys who are.
She traumatized
outside of the
y'all.
bodega, talking about
Posted on the block.
yo, what's good, man? You know what I'm saying? Can I take you out? Like, what? Where you
Niggas
gonna
still
take
saying-
me?
niggas
Get a
still-
chopped cheese?
yes,
Do I look like?
They say yo mom still.
Like,
They still
it's-
say yo mom?
Yes.
Yo mom.
Don't even act like y'all don't be at the bodegas. Y'all don't know.
Nah,
Y'all now y'all.
See,
acting
look, you
crazy.
generalize.
But a
Look at you
person don't
generalizing.
know.
like-
No, we live in New York City. Get out of here, general. Like,
So,
where's that
but
possibility?
who's to say? But who's to say he can't take you somewhere nice though?
Man.
I'm sorry, but perception that's just and
There
that's
You gotta pull up in a Rolls
Hey,
and no,
Royce.
and it's not just look cleansed and cleanly and put together. Like,
You-
what does that have to do? I'm not talking about he has to have name.
So
brands,
you
this and
always
that.
you always look
It's-
cleansed and cleanly and put together.
I do.
I believe you.
I do. And if I don't,
Yeah.
and if I don't, and that's a perfect point, because if I don't, I
Mhm.
don't want to be bothered. I'm trying to be in and out. And then y'all still be in somebody's face. Like, I would not
No,
go up
literally.
to someone like that. So that's
See,
what I'm
that's the
saying.
difference between men
Well,
and women.
that's
Man.
the thing. You have no shame.
Because-
They want you to
no
do that
shame.
every time.
No
men,
shame.
men see the potential in a woman. Like,
Well, I
you could
get
you
that.
could be
That's
dressed
different.
bummy, whatever. But, you
that's
know what I mean? She
different.
still got. You know what I mean? She still got the.
That is true.
But
She's still pretty.
but-
She still
It's
got the
gonna
nice
get more
shape and the
attention
sweats.
when you look crazy.
Yeah,
I-
You can look crazy.
I honestly like a girl that's
A person
just
can only
naturally
say
walking
yes
down the
or no.
street, her sweats, know what I mean, got her hair in a bun or whatever, looking messy. I prefer that over a woman
She got
walking
the
out.
bonnet outside.
The bonnet.
No,
Not no
no.
bonnet, nah, not
Nah,
no bonnet.
bonnet's
nah,
crazy.
nah, nah,
Not the
nah.
bonnet?
Nah, no
Damn,
bonnet,
can't even
nah.
do that anymore.
Nah, I don't.
I do
bonnet.
it.
I
But-
do it.
It
I'll
depends
I
on
throw
the
on a hoodie real
person.
fast before I
I'll
throw
do
it.
it
on.
on the bonnet. Like, I will do that.
The nigga,
We
nigga
know,
veneer,
we
the
know.
nigga veneer
I
stopped
would-
showing once I said the bonnet. Nigga put them shits away. Like,
I don't do it.
yeah, I mean, listen, I think it is a bit hard. It's tricky because men, we do see women, we want to shoot a shot. Like, you know what I mean? Sometimes you could get that nigga. Why you even? I'm out your league, and he don't think that you out his league. He found you
Well, why
attractive.
That's crazy.
And you know what I mean?
That's
Like,
crazy to me.
Yo, even if you know a shorty
Because
out your league,
y'all price women. I know you, and I don't know what's the word for this, but you guys look at a woman and you see her maintenance. You guys
look
do
like
this. You guys think, you evaluate women looking at her, she may be out my league or maybe not. I know you could, just like I could look at a man
I
and
wouldn't say
"Hmm."
out my league. I say she look expensive.
Oh, okay. Well, that's what I'm saying. So you look like, you know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. It's
so
like
when you walk down the
saying-
block, you feel like you look expensive, and an expensive man should approach you. That's what you're saying.
or just someone who is
He always wanna
in my
take it,
league.
like,
Yes,
always.
you know when you're not in someone's league. Come on now. Come on.
How you,
But
how
some
you
people
supposed to
may
know that?
feel like
I
they're
don't
not in
know.
your league. and
That's what
they
the
still gonna
confidence. That's
shoot
why we got to
shot,
build up the
though.
No,
confidence.
That's not
like, you know
that
what I'm saying?
confidence. Like,
Yeah, 'cause
No, it's
you walking down
delusion.
the, you
Anybody
walking
can
down
come
the
up to
same
It's
street I'm
delusion.
walking down, but you out of my league? What the fuck?
It's delusion.
You on the same bus I'm on.
It's delusion. I'm telling you.
You at the bus stop with your Louis bag, but you out of my league?
With the pecan joint. Like, what?
That's a good point. That's a good point.
No, that's a good
Come
point.
on,
Nah, that's
bro.
a good like example.
Beyonce out my league. Rihanna out my league. Anybody walking these streets is whatever.
That's
bro.
just
Come
by
on.
That's crazy.
chance.
So everybody
Whatever.
free game.
And,
That's
and on that note, we out of here. Like, you know what I'm saying?
No
Like,
way.
yeah.
That's right,
Listen,
though.
man, we appreciate y'all for tuning in. Again, ladies, let them know where they can follow you at. We can start over.
I'm Henny Straight. You can follow me on Instagram at Henny Straight, HENNYSTR8T.
H to go 24.
And you can just-
You can follow me.
Okay.
H to
My
go
name is
24.
Destiny. You can follow me at sezzy.desi_ and follow the Hey Girl Pod on Instagram.
Hey, girl.
Janae. Follow me at Judge J _93.
Amira, the real Mira __.
Listen, man, we appreciate y'all for tuning in. Make sure y'all join the membership. Pretty sure we're gonna have a lot of craziness behind the scenes. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
And all
we're
y'all-
gonna talk about my Miami trip because that shit was crazy.
All right.
Like,
And all y'all homeless
like,
dudes slide in their DMs. Now.
Please
Please don't.
How they got a
You gonna
DM
use
though?
the
Like,
mic?
that's-